So this is what, like, let me go and explain how I see market structure. So price is moving something like this. So yeah, this is how I see market structure. Okay, like this, if you can see, we are in fully bullish time frame. Okay, so what I do is I, like, if just check left side of this one, like if you see prices going up, uh, fully bullish here. So what I do is I just mark the last low. Okay, which have some sort of imbalance. Like you see, let's assume this low has some sort of fair value gap. Okay, uh, some sort of fair value gap. This might be a fair value gap. So you see this candle, just above this candle is responsible for this up move, and this has some sort of fair value gap in it, and this has taken out uh, the highs and given a, and the price never come back here. So I will just use this as my point of interest. Okay, and I will wait for price to come in here. As this, I am telling you supply and demand concept now. So I'm waiting for price to come in here, and I will look for buys here. And after I'll drag these things towards the right side, and we have prices came in here and tap this one and go gave a nice break of structure towards the upside. So we have this BMS we call. Again, if you see, there might be some another low which might still have some sort of imbalance there. Like this, you can assume this low might also have some sort of imbalance just above a little of this one. And this one has of imbalance, this line. Okay, and prices came in here and mitigated this one and given a nice reaction toward the upside. So we again have a minor break in market structure, break in market structure, and then again price uh, came again. Okay, and taken out this low as well and this low as well. So we have a break in market structure towards the downside. If you can see here. So that's where. So what I will do next is I will just mark the last candle, the last bullish candle, which is responsible for the BMS towards downside. Okay. So I will wait for price to come in here and give some sort of sell move from here, targeting the lows. So that's what I do, like most of the time. If price takes out some bearish structure, then I will look for sell from top, and if price take out this high, so I will look for sell buy from bottom. So that's the easy concept, as you already know. already might know. So let's just go on chart, see some kind of structure. Yeah, you see, according to this. This is give me a second. Can you see the screen? Hello.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So this is what I'm telling you. Just forget about the previous one. Like you see, this is the 2 hour time frame on USD. So what happened here is price has taken out first. This was the last low. Okay, this was the last low, and price has taken out this lower high and made another highs. And this high has been taken out by this high, and this high has been taken out by this high. So and this was the last high, and this has last high has taken out all the previous lows. So at that time, what I will do is I will just mark this last high, uh, top wick, and the candle. The candle you see, like this is the last candle which is responsible for this break in market structure. Okay, and just in, inside this candle we see a large imbalance in here. Like this was the last imbalance. Yeah. So this was the last candle. We have some sort of imbalance. So what I do is, like, if I'm looking for swing trades setup, I will wait for price to come in here, and if I will look for sells around these two. Okay. And if price takes out this high, like this is this swing high. Okay. If you understand, like, this high, you see, this is a higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then again a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and this is the last lower high. And price has never taken out this lower high. This price has taken out this lower high, but didn't taken out this lower high. And after making this lower high, price has given a break in market structure to a downside. So this is the last swing high, and this is last swing low. So what I'm expecting here is, if what I will wait for here is, if price takes out this high, okay, if price will takes out this high, so I will wait for, like, for instance, price has taken out this high as well. So I will wait for the last some sort of last uh, point of interest which have some sort of imbalance around that candle. Just like this one, like this candle has taken out all the bearish move, bearish structure, and just after that I will look for sells around here. So that's what I will do here is, I will wait for price to takes out this low, then I will look for buys here. Okay, so we can go for buys here. So that's the easy thing to understand. So that's how I choose point of interest. Right now, what I will be looking for here is, like, let's just first talk about, you know sponsor candle.
Yeah.
Both
But, did you verify it to lower time frame?
okay. And Shailesh bro, you know sponsor candle.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. So which one you choose? Like, how you understand, like, what is sponsor candle?
Like take a liquidity, right? Like this. And
But this
here.
one already got mitigated. Yeah.
Yes. So you can take this one.
This
This
one.
is sponsor candle.
This one also got mitigated by here.
So we
let's see.
need
Unmitigated
situation. Okay.
Yeah,
This one.
this one can be a good point of interest, but you will see, if you will see, like, overall structure, this is some kind of buy side liquidity. Buy side liquidity means the support. Buy side liquidity means, like, this kind of resistance area which retail trader make. Okay, so that's where ICT called that as a buy side liquidity. Okay, so if like, so how I see my sponsor candle, like, this is the high, this is the first time I'm teaching someone like this, so please bear with me. I will explain you guys some good concept, so don't worry about that. So yeah, this is the price creating this kind of structure, and if price takes out the low and taken out the high, so that's where I will choose that as a point of interest. Like, this will be my sponsor candle. Okay.
Yeah.
The sponsor candle should have been taken out the liquidity from the previous zones and must taken out the highs as well. So what I will call this as a stop hunt. This will be by minor BMS. Okay, so that will be my point of interest for buys. And I will look for some kind of this kind of moves as a compression for buys, like this kind of mode. If price comes directly like this, so I won't look for buy. If price comes something like this kind of compression move, then I will look for buys here. So that's what I will do. So this structure will be my sponsor candle. So that's how I interpret it. And if price has like, if price has taken out mitigated this high and taken out the highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and if price taken out some kind of a swing low, okay, if price has taken out some kind of swing low, and for instance like price has taken out the double top liquidity like this, if price has taken out some kind of liquidity like this, let's just see if price formed some kind of double top structure and price is taken out some kind of bigger structure towards the lower side. So that's where we will call this as a stop hunt. Stop hunt means just if price taken out this double top structure and given a BMS toward lower side. So that's where I will call this as a stop hunt and minor BMS towards the downside, and this will be my point of interest for sales. So that's what you can do as well. Okay, so that's the thing. And if price, for instance, like if price has taken out the low, the last low here, so like this is the minor BMS, minor break in market structure, and if price has taken out the last low, so this will be a major BMS, major BMS, major break in market structure. So
Yeah.
after breaking this low, we will completely in bearish trend. So for instance, if price doesn't vindicated this high and taken out this low as well, so that can be a good point of interest for swing trading for us. Okay, so that's how I see market. Like price has to take out some kind of double top structure and then drop. Then we look for sells around that candle, which is responsible for taking out the liquidity, like a double top, triple top structure. Okay, and like if price made some kind of this kind of structure high, then low, then another high, and taken out this low. Okay, so people call this as a stop hunt BMS. Then this will be your RTO move, and this will be your QML level. So people call this, also call this as a Quasimodo. Okay, so that's the easiest pattern I see in market, like for selling and for taking any trade. Prices to do some kind of stop hunt and taking out the some kind of lows, and then I will look for entry from the high, which is responsible for stop hunt and BMS. Okay, so Let's check out USD cat, like what I'm looking for there. You can see this was the last low. Okay. Yes. You see here in 45 minutes, price has taken out all the liquidities from here. Like price is moving downside. The highs, sorry, the high, the low, then again the highs, then again smaller structure low, lower high, lower lows, same thing again, lower highs, lower lows, then again lower highs, lower lows, then again lower high, lower low. And you see this lower low has taken out this high and this high as well. Okay, so what so this and this, and if you go on lower time frame, so you see this last bullish candle have some sort of imbalance just above this, like this. Go here, see this imbalance I'm talking about. Okay, so what I will do is like, so this can be my point of interest for buys. Okay, and you see like this is the last high, higher highs, high lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, and this is the last higher high. And this last higher high has taken out this higher low, this higher low. Okay, this minor structure as well, double bottom structure. So I will use this point of interest as my sell zone. So I can buy here because you see, even we are in bearish trend, but this has taken out some kind of major structure. This has also taken out some kind of major structure. So I don't want to look at like a bigger thing. I just want to look at this some kind of 100 to 200 pips. That's what I'm using. So the main thing I will do here is I will the first move like this. Let's just refine this one. So I have just marked the OB. The OB, how I selected like this OB, you see, this have some sort of imbalance. Like this candle has left some sort of bigger imbalance in it. You see, this one and this one. So what I will do is I will just go on lower time frame to define my point of interest. So you see on lower time frame, this June has already been mitigated. Like this week has taken out, mitigated this high as well. So we won't consider this high now for sells. If we can find something on lower time frame, we can, but unmitigated zone only. On 10-minute as well, this week has mitigated the last candle, and we have no any fair value gap around that because this has already been mitigated. So if you can find out something like on 5 minutes, or we will leave. So even on 5 minutes, we see this high has been mitigated by this wick. So we won't consider this as a sell move. But let's go on higher time frame. So for buys, we have selected this last bearish candle as our point of interest for buys. So we can go on lower time frame to refine this candle. So yeah. So you see the last candle. So on the last candle, we have this candle. This last candle, we have this last candle which have the bigger imbalance. You see this one and this one. So what I will do is like I will wait for price to come around this block. So that's where I will look for buys. So that's how I do, like how I mark my point of interest. And I will look for, and this has already been mitigated. So what I will do is I will wait for price to come in here and take out the highs. And where will be the targets, like use risk entry. Yeah, no, I'm not using risky entry. Like this is my demand zone. This is strong demand zone, which is like which have some sort of imbalance in it. So that's how I choose my point of interest. Like this has taken out this loop. So this just become a sponsorship candle as well. And they taken out the high as a breaking market structure. So yeah, that's how I will look for buys. Okay. Same thing I did on Nasdaq today. Like, what I do is like I always wait for price to take out some kind of high structure, like prices stay like if this is the market. I wait for price to take out the highs and then lows. Okay, so we have this stop hunt here and the PMS toward downside. So that's where I will look for shorts. So that's where I will have my point of interest for sells. Any time frame, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And for refining this June, I just told you like how I refine my candle. My point of interest just as in just look for some kind of fair value gap. Okay, so that's what I did here on Nasdaq as well. Like you see this last high has taken out all the liquidities from here. You see, 1 second. Yeah. So this high has taken out all the liquidities from here. Okay. So what I did here is I just taken like this zone, which is responsible for taking out the liquidity. Like this has taken out the liquidity from here as well, and this high as well. Okay. So I just gone on lower time frame to refine my entry. So what we have on 10-minute time frame, 10 minutes we have to find some sort of candle with imbalance. So on 10 minutes we don't have any sort of imbalance. Like we have imbalance in there, but that is not responsible for the breaking market structure that this zone has been responsible for. Let's just go on lower time frame. So on lower time frame, I just saw this candle, like this last zone. Then I go on some more lower time frame. You can find here or not. No, not here. This bubble. Yeah, same thing in this bubble as well. So even if we don't have some sort of imbalance in here, like I just selected this last candle and the high of the week. Okay, on this gone on 2-minute time frame to see like we have the imbalance here, and this high has taken out this high as well. So that's why I had this zone, whole zone as my point of interest, and just above this high of this week on lower time frame, and I took this whole imbalance also as a point of interest. So yeah, that's how I did, and this will be just prices came here and reacted from this point of interest. Okay, but I'm also looking for buys on Nasdaq. So where I will be looking for, like you see, this is some kind of triple trend line kind of structure. You see, on 30-minute time frame. So even this kind of structure can be a liquidity structure. So what I will do, I will select the last low which is responsible for the break in market structure. Like this low also has taken out all the liquidities from here. Okay, and taken out this side also, and this high as well. So, so this will be by this last candle with some sort of imbalance. The whole zone, I will select this whole zone as my point of interest. Same thing again, like the stop hunt BMS toward upside and then sells. So I will just go on lower time frame to define some kind of entry of mine, and you see this whole zone's imbalance has been mitigated by this lows. So and we still have some sort of imbalance just inside, like this high and this high, this high of this candle and this wick. So what I will do, I will just go and refine. I will take the full fair value gap, and this will be my point of interest for buys in here. So what I will do is I will wait for price to come in here, take out all this liquidity. So that's what I do. And same thing I will do here is I won't put my full limit order if I'm using one lot like something. I will do same thing like here. Price to come out like this in compression move, make low, then high, then take out this low as well and take out the highs. I will look for buys around here. Then I'll go for it. Like stop hunt after taking out this low, made a high. This will be a BMS kind of structure, and then buys here. The same thing. Easy method I use. Like this will be a nice sponsorship candle. This whole zone I selected. So that's how I choose my point of interest and entry method. So always I'm using this structure and this is working for me. The high and some kind of compression move. Take some kind of low, then again high, then low, then sell from the high. This will be a fake low, like this will be a fake BMS. People see